I'm Gerhard Elfers. Welcome to the program. Kamala Harris has shared some of her plans for office in her first major interview since becoming the U.S. Democratic Party's presidential nominee. The current vice president appeared on CNN alongside her running mate Tim Walz. Harris defended her shifts on policy issues over the years, saying that her values have not changed. She reiterated her support for Joe Biden, aligning herself with the president's stance on key issues like the U.S.-Mexico border, fracking in Pennsylvania, and the war in Gaza. NTW's Candice Cole joins me now in the studio. Candice, the first long sit-down interview, you listened to the whole of it. What was your impression?
Right. So this was really her first time as the official Democratic nominee for president to really be able to sit down, as you say, in this longer form interview. And she had gotten a lot of flack prior to for not or at least appearing to be avoiding any sort of scrutiny. So this was really a chance for her to quell all of that and also put forward her day one agenda. She talked a lot about her opportunity economy, where she really set out a goal of uplifting the middle class, lowering the price of things like groceries, extending the child tax credit to make sure that new parents can afford what they need, like car seats, and also giving new home buyers a boost with a $25,000 tax credit.
Now, the situation in Gaza has been a point of focus in the past few months in the Democratic Party. Let's just have a quick listen to what she said on that.
I'm unequivocal and unwavering in my commitment to Israel's defense and its ability to defend itself. And that's not going to change. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. And we have got to get a deal done.
Is that going to be enough to allay her critics?
I think it will, in terms of if we're just talking about the Democratic Party in and of itself. There is a deep divide there, especially among progressives who really do want to see the U.S. Pull out of this whole thing and amend the policy when it comes to giving arms to Israel. But I think for right now, it's enough that the party as a whole is coalescing around her to be able to beat Donald Trump in November.
Coming back to the domestic issues, the Republicans have been targeting Harris for her stance on immigration. Let's have a quick listen to that.
Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support.
Now, that sounded a bit evasive to me, did it not?
Right, and this is one of those issues where she's really been criticized for flip-flopping. Back in 2019, she was a supporter of decriminalizing the border, so not holding people criminally liable should they cross the border, illegally. So this is a clear turn in her stance, of which she said, even though her stances have changed, her values are still the same. So that bill that she's referencing there, she said that Donald Trump basically worked his magic to get the bill killed, but it would have provided 1,500 more like border security guards there at the border. And so this, I think, is indicative of not only the change in her stance, but perhaps the party moving a little bit, maybe more center, if you will. I wouldn't call it quite, to the right, but certainly it's less progressive than a decriminalizing of the border.
So does Trump need to be worried or more worried than he was before this interview?
I don't know, I wouldn't call this like the interview to end all interviews. He's certainly been very critical, as we know him to be. He called it boring. He said that she rambled incoherently, which is kind of rich coming from Donald Trump. I mean, if we're just being honest. But, you know, the polls are tight. Right now, she has a very slim lead to Trump. So I think it's something like 45 to 41%. So it's still a very tight race and something to keep a watch on. But I do think, you know, Tim Walz, who was also sitting there with her, is going to help her cause even more, because people tend to really like the football coach, teacher, governor, dad guy.
Okay, DW's Candice Cole. Thank you very much, Candice.